There we go. Better lay down too. Better lay down. Tail up in place. All right, let's see here. That's ready. That's ready. We've got everything up and running for a wonderful Monday night. It's kind of chilly Monday night in this old. Where are we? We're in Utah somewhere, right? I think. Yeah. Anyway, welcome everyone. Thank you for those that are joining us live, watching from home. This is I'm Jake Vanderlinden, Karma Incarnate. We're here with Karmic transmission number 50 tonight, the big 50. Pretty it's amazing how quick all this time flies. It's what's really funny is that since we're doing this bi-weekly, technically in 2 more transmissions, we'll be doing this for 2 years now. 2 years, 2 of them. Holy hell. Anyway, thank you for joining me again. I'm Jake Vanderlinden with Karma Incarnate here with Karmic transmission number 50. As always, guys, if you want to know what we're about, what we're looking to do, how we want to use hunger and poverty, these old foes of humanity to kind of usher us into a new age by making them war with each other and go away. You know, let's take the next big step. But if you want to know what we're about, best place to find us is on our website, karmaincarnate.com. You can always find us on all of the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, we're at Karma Incarnate, or on YouTube or on Twitter, we're at the Karmic feed. We've also got Instagram, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. So we like to share what we're doing. We like to show you our process from, you know, buying the food to getting it prepped and ready and delivered to the food banks and everything that happens in between. Because one of the most incredible things is just being open and honest with people about what you're doing and how you're going to tackle a problem. So as you can see, it's kind of me tonight. It's usually I'd have myself, my friend. Hang on a second. Hey, go on. Get pain in my. There we go. Sorry about that. But usually I'd have a couple of people here with me. But it's a busy night. There's karma in action all over the place, and it's incredible because some of I've said it before, and I can never say it enough. Some of the most amazing people I've ever known or ever met or ever had the chance to even interact with from afar, it's all been because of Karma Incarnate and what it's kind of built into with the way that you approach people and how you think about things. It's really pretty incredible. And you know, so tonight, like my older brother is out of town. Clint's out of town. He's helping his mother move his grandmother into. It's just, I guess he's moving his grandma. He's moving his grandma into a new assisted living place and things like that. So he couldn't be here with us. Ame is busy with her escape room, and she was kind of sick over the weekend, so she's on the mend. But we hope that she's getting better quick. But she's kind of busy out there because she's been given a lot of new responsibilities with that job, which is really cool. You know, you start acting and just like karma, when you take a little responsibility and start putting yourself out there a little bit, you'd be amazed at how these rewards can come back around to you, even in the prospect of your job and your daily things. You know, you put a little more effort in, you take a few extra steps or a little more consideration towards what you're doing, and you'd be amazed at what people are willing to do to help you move forward to get those things done too. And that's what she's been doing. Rex and I went out and neat little side note, and we'll touch on this here a little bit later, but like Rex and I went over and she's been working on a 30-minute escape room as part of their new thing. And Rex and I went and play tested it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. It was really cool. It was really neat because it's all her design. She kind of pieced everything together, came up with the majority of the puzzles, and actually built and assembled the room, which is just fantastic. And that right there, perfect example of karma in action. She took a little responsibility, put in a little assertiveness, and the owner of the escape room let her put this whole little thing together, which is really cool. And it's coming together nicely. There's few little tweaks I think that needed to happen. Rex had some wonderful ideas because he's a puzzle master. When his brain starts moving and doing stuff, it's all up there. It's pretty amazing at what Rex pulls out of that noggin of his. So just, yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. But like I was saying, these are examples of karma in action. People willing to take up and take a little ownership and responsibility of something, and see and reap the rewards that come with it. Because that's, you might not always know what it's going to come with. I'm sure she didn't expect to be missing a karmic transmission because of this new job stuff, but hey, I'm excited for her. It's really going to be neat to see what she can do with that escape room as it gets more open and she gets working with it even more so. So it very cool. And that's just one example of applying yourself, taking a little responsibility, taking a little accountability. It doesn't always have to be something like what we've done. Karma Incarnate, there's, you think of all of the things that somebody might have wanted to tackle to start a business. Let's go out and let's open a restaurant and let's feed people that way. Or let's let's my dad and his brother started a shipping company back forever ago. There's a lot of avenues to take a business, and these things, they're very linear in what happens with them. When you start a shipping company, you hope to progress, and maybe you start with your own truck and maybe move into buying a fleet, running an actual shipping yard with multiple trucks on the road. It's incredible what can happen, but you've got to take that ownership and that responsibility initially. And to take on something like saying, we want to end hunger, that's going to be the thing, this new endeavor that we're going to try to do to help move things forward and progress everything. There's no linear path to that one. It's we've been tackling this thing for so long in so many different ways, and we're seeing all the time how different and how ever changing this thing can be. And it's really kind of funny to think that for what we wanted to do, we really didn't pick anything as straightforward as a lot of people did, but it's one of the most rewarding, I think, because it means you get to blaze your own trail. You get to make up the way that you get there. So it's pretty impressive. It's really incredible, but it takes that action, takes that responsibility, that want and desire to own and do something and see what comes with it. Win, lose, or draw, right? Doesn't matter what comes of it, you've got to take the action first, because without the action, there can never be that reaction. So and that's what it's all about, is seeing that action, responding to it in a very controlled, responsible way, and hopefully it'll move you forward, right? That's, maybe you got to change course a little bit. Maybe you'll have to rethink and readjust, but in the end, there's always something that goes with that forward motion. And you'd be amazed. You'd be truly amazed. And that's one of the things that has been just so inspiring the last little while, is just seeing how much willingness there is for people to do good in the world. And that premise of wanting to do good, of wanting to go out and apply yourself and do something more to help better a community, that's the foundation of Karma Incarnate in a nutshell. It's that idea that whatever you're wanting to go do, own it and take responsibility for it, and then go do it and see what comes of it and see where you can take it next, whatever the venture might be. It's it just takes truly incredible people to tag along with something like what we're doing too. And that's why I bring up those individuals, people like Clint, Naomi, and Carrie and Eric and Melissa. Melissa was one of the people that signed up like mid-pandemic. She kind of got involved and started doing things with Karma. Incredible person, wonderful spirit, and just ready to take a little bit of ownership and accountability in what we're doing right now, to say, hey, it's our turn to change all of this. And without something like Karma Incarnate, a way to get involved, and this is why I kind of talk about karma in action, is because one of the hardest things that we have is knowing how we can apply ourselves, in what way we can go out and do something, because we're always asked, there's so many options to go out and tackle, and any one of them has multitudes of people that have already interjected themselves, be it a church, charity, government, or some other form of entity that's interjected it and said, only we can do this, or this is our specialty. And who says that they're the only ones that can? You know, there's nothing stopping anybody from going out and feeding somebody that's hungry, or just applying themselves to doing a little good in their direct community. And that right there is the ultimate of karma in action, is that, you know, when you're doing something, and this is the difference between doing good and being a do-gooder, in my opinion, in a lot of ways, is that when you're out doing something good like that, you don't even think about what's going on. You don't really think about what's coming back to you. You're just in the moment, living it and doing it, and you want to do more of it, because as you're doing it, you get a feeling, and there's no other way of describing it as other than just you get a feeling that is incredible. It's the most touching, the most humbling, the most empowering feeling that you'll ever have simultaneously. And it's just incredible when you're out there doing stuff, but it makes everything else fall away when you're doing good. And that kind of action, that kind of karma, is the thing that moves this universe forward in ways that we will never see, but are always positive, and are always going to manifest good things to the rest of the world, to the rest of existence. Because those kinds of actions, that spontaneous move to do something like that, they're what we thrive on as a species. They're what we want to do. What? Okay, I'll get to those here in a minute, Mom. She wants to know why I chose hunger. I'm guessing me specifically is what her question is. But yeah, but that action, right? That action of doing good, of going out and just taking accountability and responsibility for something, not wasting time trying to point out or get people to see something bigger, but just going out and doing it for the want of doing it. That kind of action is the one that's so incredible, because the other ones, we do them, and along with that feeling, there's all kinds of other rewards that come with it, be it monetary, be it, just congratulatory, with people, telling you what a wonderful person you are, right? There's always that other side of when you're going out there and you're just doing that act, that pure action. That's the thing that really makes the universe move, because that's creation, that's existence all at once, with no other inspiration except for just the want to do good. And it's incredible. It's truly the most amazing thing in the world. And no one thing can ever lay claim to that and say that we're the only ones that can do it, because the minute that you try to claim it or own it, it kind of lose that touch of that purity. And really, Mom, to come back to that, that's what it, why choose hunger is that one right there. Is there is no, when you come to the human animal, that hunger is really something that drives us to do things that is beyond ourselves. It's when you get hungry, when you're feeling that kind of backed into a corner, anything can happen, and that's not where we want anyone to be. So why not eliminate that? Why not put everybody onto that reaction based playing field where they can make good, responsible reactions? Because that's what we want. The only way to have that is to not feel like you're always starving, right? Be it starving literally, needing the food, or if it's emotional starvation, whatever you want to say that it is. But it's when people are starving for something, it's incredibly hard to start thinking or doing anything else but addressing that. And that's, nobody needs to worry about those things. There's enough headache and worry and things happening out there that are beyond our control, that we should focus on the things that we can, which is, you know, helping somebody, feeding somebody, doing something good for a neighbor or a friend, shoveling a sidewalk for the lady down the street if that's what you want to do. It's and all of those things, like I said, that's that karma in action. That's that responsible accountability that we're all willing to take, to say, you know what, I'm willing to have this place be better, not for any other reason than that's what I want. Call it selfish. Call me the person that just is always thinking about myself, but I'm ready for it to be different. So why not put my energy into making that difference? And that's why you pick something like 100. That's really why you do something like that, is because it's something that will always be there ready for you to look in the eye and say, no, not today. Because nobody needs that feeling. Not, at least not in the world that I live in. Not in the existence that I want to see for us, because all of this is happening, going on. It's a shared reality, but it's our reality too. And we all get to participate and play in it. So why not claim our portion of it, right? And when you claim your portion of it, what do you want to do? Why not be good with it? What other reason could you want to have to claim it than to help people, or to want to better situations for all of us involved? Because let's face it, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? If there's a little more food out there for all of us, then that means there's a little more food out there for me. Or if there's a little more love and caring in the world, because we decided that that's what we wanted there to be, then it'll be there for me too, right? So this is the weirdest thing that one of the weird insights to why I do what we do is it's the most selfish thing in the world, is that I doing all this for me. It's yeah, it's incredible, because in the end, who else do we really have to do anything for but ourselves? You know, Rex and I are getting up and we're going to the gym, and I can't think of any reason why other than it's a good thing for us to do, and it's good for me. So honestly, I don't know that I would go if I didn't have him to go with me, to get me honest, because it's too easy. It's too easy to cut ourselves a little slack and just kind of not worry sometimes. But worrying is a good thing, because worrying is how you remember what you are and what you're about and what you want to do. And to hold yourself accountable, that's the biggest trick. So again, who else? That's it right there. Is if you're not going to hold yourself accountable, who can? Nobody can. You know, let's be honest. So for those of you that didn't know, Rex and I have been swimming now for, it's like 2.5 months. And sorry, Rexy, I'm going to talk about this. He's kicking butt. He's been tearing it up. He laps me every day. It makes me feel bad. But it would have been easy for me to, even though I'm paying the money and doing the thing, but like it would be easy for me to tell him that I'm going more days than I am, just because he only goes swimming with me 3 days a week. But what would be the point, right? Who am I fooling? And the answer is nobody, because as long as I'm going with him, what does he care if I go the other 4 days of the week or the other 2 days of the week? Not really, but it's on me, right? And that's, just like I said earlier, that's as much karma in action as anything, is holding yourself accountable and making sure that you're sticking with and doing those things that you said that you wanted to do. right? Because without that accountability, without that coming back around to it, there's no reason for doing any of it. But no, it's amazing how much that action, and again, guys, I keep mentioning karma in action and fake. In all reality, karma is action. That's the name of the game. You know, we can say it's action in action, but that really sounds kind of funny when you try to verbalize it and put it out there. But karma is action. And that's why I say, responsible, accountable reactions are what we're hoping for, because with every action, we have our reaction. It's it's the stone being thrown in the pond and watching the ripples, right? There's action and reaction, and we are the ultimate movers and shakers of the action and the reaction. It's incredible. It's truly incredible. So, um, the name of the game, guys, karma is action, karma in action. It's the best thing that we could ever have. Movement, actual, you know, people going out and doing the best that they can all the time. Wonderful. I can't stress that action enough, whatever it is, because we've taken a big one. That's the one thing that I'll have to give Rex and Karma Incarnate, and the thing that he's built as a whole is it's taken an action, and that action has delivered. It's done what it's meant to do every month. The only thing that's missing is more people like you. It's the only thing that it's missing. It's the only thing that we don't have is that saturation, right? That oddly enough, it's that one thing that's always just been right there. It's just a little bit outside of what we've been able to tag. And the only reason I can figure, the only thing that's missing is people having, and I can't even say lack of access, because we've got so much content out there. It's like I tell you guys in the beginning, check us out on Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. Rex did a video a day every day for a year. So there's 365 videos right there. It's not for lack of content, right? The only thing I can figure is that the message is so universal, and it can touch on so many levels that it almost gets drowned out. But that's where the thing that I've seen, the thing that again, this action that we're seeing all over the place, it's something that people want. It's something that people feel all the time. And it's the reason that people go out and do incredible things. We've got friends that do charity fundraisers and do organizational events for vets and specialty organizations. There's so many people wanting to be involved, right? And the thing that we lose track of is how, where can we get involved? And the one thing that I'll always encourage people to do is go do it yourself. That's always the best thing that you can do. If you feel like, go donate blood, go donate blood. Like, incredible idea. You don't need anything but your arm and a few minutes or an hour or something like that, right? Same thing with these actions are incredible. But when you put the actions of many people to the same thing, that's when you can move mountains. That's when you have the ability to do something far beyond what you yourself could ever actually do, right? You can go in and give a pint of blood, but bring in 10,000 people and you can fill up an entire blood bank, right? And that one thing is where people tend to have a hard time, is they don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what they're wanting to where they can apply themselves. And I'll tell you this, there is no easier place. There is no better place than with something like Karma Incarnate. That's the absolute truth, because the one thing that every organization is going to want from you, just let's be honest about it, is money, right? It doesn't matter if it's the United Way, if it's the Utah Food Bank. They'd love for you to just send them cash. Food banks love that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter. What do you think your taxes are, right? Uncle Sam needs his cut too. Everybody knows it's about money. It's about that economic fuel, right? And that economic fuel is usually tried to get covered up a little bit. Give to us because we're just doing incredible things. Don't think about how much. Just give. Don't ask what our organization does with money. Just give because it's a good thing, right? Everything requires that economic fuel. And the smartest thing that we can do, because every one of us only have so much, is to be engaged and to know what we're giving to. Best thing that we could ever do. And when it comes down to knowing who and what something is about and what they're trying to do and how they're going to accomplish it, I would dare anybody to find something as transparent, as straightforward, and as honest as what Karma Incarnate is doing. You want to see it's all there. Every bit of it is on their website, ready to be shown, so that you know what you're getting into. That's how you be a responsible, accountable person, taking your action and reaction and doing something with it. Is you learn as much as you can. And a lot of things we're going to have to take on faith. I don't need to get too scientific on why the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. I know that it's a good thing and I can work with it and I can do business by it. But if I go around trying to tell people the reverse is true, you're going to find it really hard to find anybody that wants to do business with me or even, believe what I'm saying, right? So I would dare anyone out there. Pardon me. There we go. I would dare anybody out there to find something as genuine and honest as what this action is that we're taking right now. Because that's our karma in action. That is what we're doing. And there's a reason that we called it Karma Incarnate, is because we all make actions. We all do things every day. And it would be amazing if every one of those paid us back with that economic fuel that we need to keep going in this crazy mixed up world that we find ourselves living in. It would be incredible. The next closest thing to something like that is Karma Incarnate. It's somewhere that you can get involved, that you can see exactly what kind of impact you're making, whether you're just buying food to feed people because it makes you feel good, or if you're somebody involved looking to truly change the way that we want to approach economics and business and everything as a whole. Whatever you want to do, if you want to take responsible action towards doing something good, not being a do-gooder, I dare you to find something better than what we're doing, because it's as cheap as $10 a month and as expensive as $50. That to me is dumbfounding. I don't know if any of you went to the gas station lately and saw what $50 gets you. Man, it's nuts. But we'll find ways to make it do even more than that, because that's what clear, driven purpose, a dedication to your responsible action, your true karma, that's what it can do. It's an incredible thing and it's empowering, but it takes getting involved, thinking and acting a little bit, knowing, you know what, I'm ready to do something different, to own my portion of it and see something more. It's yeah, I would dare anybody to find something like that. I really would. But then again, I'm I'm kind of biased because I know the guy that started it all, and he's a close person to me. That his this is I love you, Rex. Sometimes your heart's bigger than your brain, though, I think, because it and it's a family trait. It's one that will come by honestly, but it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Go back and watch. Cherry, I don't care. Pick any one of the. It's got to be like 600 videos that we've got by now, and I dare you to find somebody with more heart than that guy right there, because it doesn't exist, and it's the only way that somebody would be willing to put everything out there the way that he has. Everything. There's nothing there that you. It's incredible. So it takes brave people willing to say, you know what, because it's easy. It's like I said, it's real easy. Just like me with the gym and telling him that I'm going more days. It's easy to do these things. Really easy. In fact, you want to know the easiest thing to do is? Nothing at all. Easiest thing in the world is to do absolutely nothing at all. Where's the fun in that? Where's the wonder that the world can bring you? Where's those moments of just sheer awe and or even anger? Where's any of it? Where's life if you're doing nothing and it's passing you by? That's where it is. It's the only place it can be. And I'm not. We're done with that. I think you guys are. I think I am. Hell, that's why I'm sitting here rambling, because we're done with that stuff. There's enough of that. So, but karma in action, it's an incredible thing, and it's something that we see all over. And like I said, it's amazing to be surrounded by so many people willing to take some action and do something, again, not just for them, but because that's what they want to do, and because it's they feel inspired to do something. And that's the hardest part, is that inspiration. But inspiration isn't what it takes. You know, all it really takes is a little bit of is want. Just go do it. You don't have to be what's the old fluffy tree guy, Bob Ross, right? You don't have to be Bob Ross to start painting and putting your stuff out there. You don't have to be a Picasso. You can literally just be some guy. You know, I think I've seen pizza shops that just have random people's paintings on the wall. Fantastic, right? Take that action, take that responsibility and accountability to yourself, and put yourself out there for it. Why not? Because tell you, you don't get a lot of it goes by too quick. It all goes by way too quick to be afraid or to worry about any of it. So take action, take a risk, do something amazing for a change. And if you really want to do something incredible, go out there and do a little good, right? So, but it looks like things are slowing down. I did have Rexy jump in here. I don't know, Rexy, you feel like gabbing for a minute? Here we go. Let's see what happens here. Well, look at that guy. There's a shit rock behind you.
There is?
There is. I can see a shit rock behind you.
There's the real star of the show.
I know.
So
I had that other one in here scratching at the doors and stuff a little bit ago, being a dink. So I had to throw him out. Goofy kitty cats.
Here we go. This is weird on my telephone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The way it looks and stuff. Well, Jakey, you're too good of a guy to me. You're too nice.
Oh, I don't
You
know
make me
about
sound
that.
a lot cooler than I am. I hope.
Yeah, but you're muted because you lost your thing. You're muted. Uh-huh.
How about now?
There you go. Now I got you.
Okay.
No,
Ring-
it doesn't happen enough, and I don't really have many other ways of doing it. So I need to sing the praises when I can, because it's I it's a weird one. I genuinely love everybody, and I can't tell you how proud and amazed I am to have the people involved that we have, and to know all of these people. But there is that one thing that I think does get forgotten, and that's, you know, like I was saying earlier, it's on the cheapest side for somebody to get involved. It's $10 a month. On the most expensive side, it's $50 a month, right? The one thing that none of that even comes close to talking about is what you have personally put up to do all of this, because I'll tell them this much, it's a lot more than $50 a month. That's,
yeah.
and I'm not trying to do anything, or try to, it's just it's one of those things that just, it's a kindness forgotten, right? For us to play this game, to even have the opportunity to do karma, to spend $10 a month buying a food gift to feed people that in our local communities, to even have that opportunity, it takes a visionary and somebody willing to put much more at play, to have a system with softwares and servers and all of the tools and functions to allow that to happen. And it's amazing, and you never get thanked enough. So I'm
Well,
trying to share that as much as I can without turning us both into blubber and boobs.
oh no, I am. It's it's my karma, my part of that story. It's what has to happen to make what needs to happen. So, and that's what we do best here. Is it's forward thinking. You keep talking about action and reaction, and that's the one thing that we tried to figure out and do in this business, is we tried to control both ends of that. Is that we understand what the action is, and we understand what the reaction it will generate, instead of just trying to randomly do, you know, piecemeal parts over here and there and trying to just shotgun blast and see what you can get done. It's like we want to take it and make it so that the act of giving food to people generates an economic increase in your actual life. So that way you can have the ability to create and generate more food to give to more people. And it creates this symbiotic system of action and reaction that then pretty much puts, two of the biggest things that have plagued us forever, which is hunger and poverty, against each other. And that's just trying to outthink, you know, the system that we seem to be stuck in.
Mhm.
And I'm extremely happy that people, like you say, have the wish and desire to start doing some action, and it's a craving that people can feel in their heart. And that's because it's that's what the cosmos is doing. That's what
Yeah.
everything, the sum up of everything that's ever been, is a happening, is you know it's generating, it's creating what we call life and existence. And we're just as much a part of that as we are anything else that you could try to say that we are. It's just it's in our bones to want to try to create and generate and make the world better and give more than we take. And so I don't understand why we would separate that kind of power from our economics, because that's our expression of universal energy. So I think it's a good okey doke. Like you were saying, people use clever language to try to get you to buy jumbo shrimp, but they're just the same shrimp.
They're called
It's just,
prawns.
yeah. Yeah, prawns if you're from Australia and all over, pretty much everywhere else but here. I guess we're the only ones that call them shrimp. Maybe somebody else, who knows? But that's I don't blame them. But it's just we've all evolved past that. Marketing has done amazing things for humanity. It's created a technical wonderland. But now we're seeing the double-edged sword of it, where it's marketing's used to try to outthink you and get around your your own free thought and get down to your emotions to make you do things that you think feel good and that are right. And that's one of the things that like you said, give. Don't think and try to understand what the process of it's going to be. So, but I don't know, now I'm rambling.
Well, I needed somebody to come in and break up the monotony for a minute.
Yeah. Sorry.
Woo. Oh, you're all good, brother, man. It happens. I've been fighting a little bit here too myself. That's why I got the old bottle of water here. So
well, it's what's that term? Almost springtime. So allergy season's kicking in. I think we're getting a little bit of the pollens and the other stuff like that. So, but Jake, the one thing that you guys don't give enough credit for is you people that have done the work, because it's easy to spend your time talking about crazy ideas, which aren't even crazy, because like you said, they're so universal. There are ideas, but that makes it hard to try to put it into I don't know, reasonable terms that make people feel the earnestness of it. That it's that, like you said, we only get so much of time in an expression, so you want to get the work done anyway. But you guys out there that can hear and feel something amazing and try to want to put in your own energy outside of your normal time is ridiculous, because it's easy when it's your idea to have fun playing in your head, but to try to convince everybody to come play with you, and then to have them actually show up and make the game not only play and function, but even better. The ideas that we get, the just pure joy and kindness that people talk about karma bringing into their life that they then express in other ways, is just the proof in the pudding of the more you give, the more you get. The more you do it, the more easier it gets. It just I figure if you pay people to be good, people will start being good more often, and then they'll get addicted to it. Then they'll become millionaires for being good. And it's just weird. I just think that, I have a hard time with that. Yeah. Anyway.
You have a hard time thinking that won't work, or that it will?
Or no, I have a hard time with the systems that are set up and just the way that people lock into them and stuff. And the fact that it's like, well, this is exactly how it works. We got a capitalist system and these ideas that were made in the 17th century. So that was before there was anything even considered or called the internet. Heck, there wasn't even cars then. But that doesn't need an overhaul. No, it's perfect. And we got religious systems and all these ideologies that are even older. They don't need anything. No. They all this stuff. It's just the idea and the mentality of charity. And that doesn't need an overhaul. Oh no. Well, if none of them need an overhaul, why haven't they worked? If they've had the run of the mill to try to make the world a better place and end these issues and try to move us into a new type of existence, what have they been waiting for? I would contend that maybe it's just that, it makes more money to keep us how we are, focused on the wrong things. So
no,
that's how come we want to refocus what we call capitalism, what we call economics, and put it back into what we know it is supposed to be, an expression of the goodwill of your heart towards mankind and the reciprocation that society will bring to you for putting that out into the universe. And we call that money, some sort of measurement system. And that's gotten corrupt and used to do crazy things, because it's a lot easier to make money stealing and cheating and lying than it is to telling the truth, helping and trying to make things better. But, I think in the long run, the latter is much more profitable for us as a society, as humankind, and even your pocketbook. So
no, absolutely. That's the part that it's a rising tide raises all ships. So if everybody's doing better, that would be you too. That's
yeah.
the whole mentality. And it's a shame that we have, in a lot of ways, we've almost hero worshipped the other side of it,
Yeah.
through, and a lot of it was, and that's whole nother topic for a whole other time, because like it's in Hollywood and all that.
Well,
Wolf of Wall Street just popped in my head, and it's like we put these stories together, and we really do a lot to make it seem like some of these things they're not good, but they're not all that bad, And so it's a weird thing that we've come up with to do the other thing. But you're right. I don't see why, because it's one that the foundation of karma. Why is it that if people are encouraged, paid to do good things, you'd think they'd want to do more good like that? That just makes sense, right?
yeah.
Just think of human nature in a nutshell. When you reward a pet for doing the right activity, like litter training a cat, right? You don't give it a treat when it pisses on the carpet, but you give it the treat when it pees in the litter box, and before you know it, it's not peeing on the rug anymore.
Yeah.
Call. I don't mean to simplify humans to cats by any means, but it's that same kind of positive reinforcement mentality.
Well, yeah, it's pattern, and
Mhm.
and for as long as, for time immemorial, as they say in the big leagues, we've been doing things a certain way, and the idea of how we address issues like hunger and things like that have been excluded from the business world.
Mhm.
And I hate to say that, because that's not true, because any organization, doesn't matter what it is, if it has any kind of structure, a power bill, a sewer bill, anything, it's a business, because they have to generate some form of income to even exist and operate. So to say that they're not businesses kind of bugs me. That's one of the reasons why I'm so heavy into the fact that I tell people we are a business, is because it's you know organizations of people generating economic wealth and energy have changed what we call the world. We call that society, and I'm proud of that. And I think that that's where things are made, and things are generated. And what we're trying to do here is make a better world by generating incomes from ending hunger. And so it's that's I it just seems like something that should have been done from the get-go.
Mhm.
But it's because it's karma is not, the idea of you put good into the universe, you get good back out of the universe, isn't my idea. That's everybody's idea. And that's just how it goes. So we don't do that with our money. If I put my money into good things, I don't get money back. It should start to produce, because it's just a creation of our mindset towards existence, like anything else that we would consider out there, and including language and its limitations. Money has its limitations, but you can break through those and get to feeling, and that generates something even bigger and more powerful, because now you're not talking about your ideas and your mind, you're talking about our ideas and our mind. And when that happens, you don't need to talk. That's how come, I don't know. I was going to say that's what animals do, but I don't have any proof of that, and that just makes me sound crazy. But they do a lot. But
No,
even human beings as animals with other animals
Mhm.
use a lot of non-verbal and
cues and tells.
yeah, oh yeah, it's
Mhm.
just the way in which people communicate is amazing, but it's also limiting, and can do things, because that's one thing that I think we run into an issue here, is how do you explain something that people have felt their whole life, which is that there is a sense of fairness in this world. There is a sense of good and doing good and being rewarded for it and being praised and honored in the community for being something above and beyond yourself for being a part of the community and acting for it to benefit it. And then they reciprocate that action. That's an inherent, just basic understanding in what we call life. And so it's so how do you explain that that's what we want to make a business? How do you say that to somebody without them going, huh, what? And I don't blame them, but it's quite simple. We're going to take an economic action to generate what people would consider a charitable type reaction that then in turn creates another reaction of economic growth. So that way you can start the cycle over again.
You don't even have to. It's funny because we've gone over that whole idea of what is it, and everything that I've always come back to. We're not performing it. It's not a charitable act. We're performing a service.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
we're doing. It's
Samurai.
That's all that a charity is a service organization. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why even use their terminology? Why not just look, you give us
Yeah.
money, we're going to perform a service.
It's part of that language barrier. You're
Exactly.
trained. You learn. Oh gosh, see how clumsy I am with a cell phone.
Oh, I know. Don't worry.
Doing this the whole time.
We'll wrap
make everybody sick
and let it be good after this one, because that it's the truth though. Like you said, that you start running into those language barriers, but if you can just forget some of those other things, get back to the basics. What are we doing? It's a service. How can you earn it? How can you earn money in this world? By providing goods or services to the economy. So we're providing a service. So why shouldn't we be able to get some money out of this?
Why are acts like helping people and feeding the hungry or digging wells, or why are those excluded from the idea of being able to generate an income for you? Well, they're not if you work for a charity.
Yeah. Or if you're using the right language. All that it is. But that's where, speaking of language, I was looking at this one a little bit today, the old trademark stuff. Good. Language.
Language. Huh? Dude, it was today. I was down at delivering a load to this place called McQuain Ductile. They make like all your sewer pipes and stuff pretty much. And we take black powder to them that they coat them with. There's this kid named Victor, and he unloads me, and he always asks me about karma. And today he was like, well, what does it take to do a charity? And I'm like, dude, it's extremely easy. You just go down and you file the paperwork and say, I'm a charity. And then you start collecting money. Then he goes, well, how do you do it? And not like, because I heard a thing about somebody doing a charity and they wrote a check to someone and now they're in trouble and they're getting tax fraud and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, yeah, you got to be honest about it and, tell them what to do. And then he's like, well, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, they all take a percentage and that's what they use to operate. He's like, they do? Yeah, they do. And it's like, because this is, so people think that it's, that word charity is so elusive and they're just like, oh, it gives them big eyes and stuff, when all it is paperwork. You just file it and then start, geez, everybody does it all the time on what's the internet one now?
Oh, LegalZoom.
No. The charity deal for people that you can raise money and give to people.
You mean you're talking like GoFundMe and Kickstarter?
Yeah, it's that. That is what you do, but you do it with the government instead of GoFundMe. You go and you set up your organization with them, and then you do the same damn thing. Hey, I'm so and so, and I'd like to give money to dogs that need reading glasses. And
I would give to that charity. I would give.
Bingo.
So
and there you go. But it was just, it's and then he goes, there was one part where he goes, well, that's so if you have to set the money aside and you have to pay for the thing and do it, I'm like, that's because they're a business. I'm like, that's how come at Karma we just tell you flat out, we're a business. Is that we're an organization operating to try to end hunger by providing people goods and services out in the world so that they can spread an idea that the more you give, the more you get. And, you know, we break our backs to try to give you the ability to spread that idea easy and efficiently. And the more you do that, the more you get, because that's what karma does. And so, you know, that's our business model. That's what we want to do. But don't be crazy and think that it's charity, because we know that you can't shit and not wipe. Every action has a reaction. And anybody that tries to tell you that it doesn't, they kind of stink and you don't go around them.
That's
so,
true.
you know, that's
true. That's why
what
I
they
don't have
do.
many friends.
No, it's because something smells a little off, you know. So, yeah, there always has to be some sort of.
There's always follow-up.
Yeah, it always happens. And to try to act like you don't even want to know about it is even worse, because then it takes away your responsibility and the accountability that should be yours for taking said action. It's just blind energy into the universe. And just like a solar flare coming from the sun, if that hits us, it burns and kills us all. So blind energy is bad energy. You know, it's good to direct it, give it some sort of form. That's bringing it to life. Incarnate. Karma Incarnate.com. So there we go, Jakey.
I love it, Rexy. I think that's a good spot to call it, though. And
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming in and saving my bacon. I was starting to run out on that one.
That's a lie. I was sitting there boobing and thinking, this is you're too good of a man. And that's be on your gravestone. Jake Vanderlinden, too good of a man.
Yeah.
So
why I ended up in that early grave.
Yeah. So well,
but I love the hell out of you, brother, man. I'm glad that you jumped on with me for a minute. So
yeah.
But as always, guys, thank you for joining us. You believe it, Rexy? This is number 50. 2 more, and it's been 2 years.
That's crazy.
2 years. You believe that?
Yeah.
My
Talking.
God.
Oh, I believe it.
Long time. And you guys can see it all. Check us out on karmaincarnate.com. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, social medias at Karma Incarnate or at the Karmic Feed. Always a great place to find us on Twitter. But if ever you guys want to see real karma in action, watch one of our videos, send us a message, let us know. We'd love to have you come out and stick your food with us and see what Karma Incarnate's all about, because it's time to start living the change that we want to see. So
yeah. Come out, tell me why I'm wrong, that the world needs to be better and that you have no place in it to be able to make it happen. Come out, try and tell me, convince me. It'll be fun.
We'll convince you otherwise.
Yeah. So
okay, love you, Rexy.
Oh, I can't do anything. See you, Jakey.
We'll see you, man.